hurricane specialist Michael Lowry standing by at the expert desk as Chantal makes its way through the Caribbean islands.
That's right, bringing some strong gusty winds, some tropical rains to the Leeward Islands this morning. The good news, all of this weather will be moving out this afternoon into this evening, moving into the eastern Caribbean. The latest information that we have from the Hurricane Center showing that we still have a strong tropical storm with maximum winds of 60 miles per hour, pressure of 1,006 millibars, racing off toward the west-northwest at 29 miles per hour, and that has been the story with Chantal. That fast-forward motion hasn't allowed it to strengthen more than it would otherwise, but still bringing some rough weather to the Leeward Islands through the morning hours. You can look at our radar now from the islands, showing that Chantal, the center of Chantal, right about in here to the northwest of St. Lucia. Still, though, some gusty winds in Martinique and Dominica to the north. Winds last hour in Martinique gusting to 48 miles per hour and 44 miles per hour up in Dominica, and still some heavy rainfall, but again, moving very quickly off to the west-northwest, so this weather should begin to improve during the afternoon hours and into the evening as Chantal moves into the eastern Caribbean. Our visible satellite picture, just a series of snapshots from space that give us some detail as to what's happening near the surface. If you look, the center of Chantal right about in here, near where we're seeing the bright white cloud tops, the heaviest thunderstorms right around the center, so Chantal still continuing to organize in the eastern Caribbean. We do have tropical storm watches and warnings throughout much of the Caribbean. Of course, tropical storm warnings have been in effect for the Leeward Islands. We do have a tropical storm warning in effect for Puerto Rico, the island of Puerto Rico, and a hurricane watch now in effect for the south and east side of the Dominican Republic for the expectation of hurricane conditions possible in the next 2 days or so. Now, if we look at what's happening at the upper levels, the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, this is the big picture view. We have some dry, dusty air that's worked its way westward from the African continent. This isn't affecting Chantal, but what is a non-tropical upper level low that's been spinning over the Bahamas now, and what it's doing is it's bringing some strong winds across the Caribbean Sea, the strong winds aloft. In addition, you'll notice over here we do have some oranges and bronze colors working their way through the eastern Caribbean. There is some drier air ahead of Chantal, so the environment overall not all that favorable for quick strengthening, at least. We do anticipate, though, some modest strengthening as Chantal moves off toward the west-northwest. So here is our forecast from the Hurricane Center. Now, keep in mind, this is just the forecast for the center track of the storm. The effects will be felt far outside of the center, especially to the north of the system. So tomorrow I do anticipate gusty winds in excess of 40 miles per hour across Puerto Rico, and 3 to 6 inches of rain possible across Puerto Rico, and then moving across the Dominican Republic and Haiti, bringing some heavy rainfall threat, and then eventually finding a break in the high pressure to its north and moving more toward the northwest as we get into the later part of the week. But there are a lot of questions up here. How strong Chantal is, if the circulation remains intact as it moves over the very high terrain of Hispaniola, and then possibly affecting the U.S. sometime by the late weekend. But we do have some time to watch this, and we will continue to do so. But again, to point out over the next day or two that this wind impact, this is our wind impact cone showing that the wind impacts will be felt outside and to the north of the center.